We're going to be talking to Michelle Sword. She was looking to lose a few pounds, as a lot of people do this time of year, and she injected herself with a skinny jab she'd bought on the internet. She'd used it before, but instead, this time, she nearly lost her life because the pen turned out to be counterfeit. It was filled with pure insulin rather than a legitimate weight loss drug, and that resulted in her having a seizure and ending up into a diabetic coma.
Now, doctors say that Michelle was very lucky to be alive. She wants to warn others not to gamble with their lives. She joins us, along with Dr. Hillary. Good morning to both of you. Michelle, it's good to see you looking so well, first and foremost, this morning. So let's start with your reasoning. You decided that you put on a bit of weight, you wanted to lose some weight, and you'd actually used one of these weight loss jabs in the past.
Yeah, a few years ago, shortly after lockdown, when I'd put on a little bit of weight and wasn't as active in my life because I was at home with the children. And I just, and everything went really well. It worked as it should. And I lost weight, felt good, had more energy. So that's what kind of
made you think, I'll go back and do it again?
Yeah.
So what was different this time in terms of you finding the jab, and how did you do it?
I'd seen it again on a lot of social media. It was on a lot of social media sites. I'd heard that it was quite hard to come by. However, the social media sites seemed to have it in abundance. And I was overeating again. I was staying in. I was, eating a little bit more at home, picking out on the chocolate and stuff. And I thought, oh, God, I'm going to put weight on again. And I was really, really conscious about putting a little bit more weight on. And I didn't want to feel like that because I know how it made me feel when I had put on a little bit of weight. So I was like, right, and I just was scrolling through and there was a company on there and I just messaged her, said, oh, so do you have them in stock? Yes, we do. Can I have one? Yeah. Would you like just the one? And I ordered it.
And it looked, when it arrived,
exactly the same, until I started turning the dial, which is a dial you usually click and it would stop at your dose.
So you twist it and it fills the pen up with the amount of dosage that you need and then you can inject yourself.
Yeah, you kind of twist it and as you put it in your stomach and inject it, it goes click, 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 and it goes down to usually the dose that you have. However, this wasn't stopping and I felt like it had gone on a little bit long, so I thought I'll stop. And as I injected myself, I thought, oh, it hasn't actually gone down too much. I'll give myself a bit more later on. I know, thank God I didn't.
So how long was it before you started realising that something was very wrong?
I would say within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I began to feel really disorientated, really dizzy, really confused. I'd forget literally what I'd just done. My daughter had come back home. She was meant to be at her dad's that night. She'd come back home and wanted me to do her some mac and cheese because she'd done it at school the day before. And I was just unsure about what I was doing and I just felt really disorientated. So
and then it got worse.
It got a lot worse after that. Unbeknown to me, I'd phoned a friend. She said, do you know you're sweating? And I was, no, I don't know that. And I started to feel unwell. I said to my daughter I was going to go and lie down. Thankfully, I didn't, because Katie would have just let me sleep.
Yeah.
You know, Mum's not well, I'll just let her lay down. And anyway, I came back to the lounge, sat down, and that's when Katie said, as she was talking to me, I stopped responding. And when she came in from the kitchen, I was just lay there sort of eyes open, really not responding, a bit muzzly and things like that.
How old is Katie?
Katie's 13.
She's 13, so she's old enough to know that something really is going wrong.
Yeah.
Now, we're looking at these pictures here, and you fell into a coma, didn't you?
Yeah, well, my daughter phoned my best friend, Vicky Blissett, and she was with me within minutes, and when she got there, she realised straight away something was really seriously wrong. She said my eyes were like pinpricks, I was sweating, and she decided to ring the ambulance straight away, and I'm so lucky they were with me within 12 minutes, and that's when I'd lost full consciousness by that point.
And you could have lost your life.
Yeah, the doctors said I was knocking on the door. It was as close as that.
OK, Hillary, what do we now know Michelle took, and why is it a million miles from the fat jab that people have taken successfully.
Okay, I'm so glad you're still with us.
Yeah.
Me too. So my kids.
I bet they are. I bet they are. So these drugs, liraglutide and semaglutide, are powerful drugs which have effects on the body. They mimic the hormones which are released when you've eaten a meal and make your brain feel that you're full.
This is
so
insulin.
That's how they work. No, this is the semaglutide.
This is the official
what
drug.
you thought you were buying.
What I thought I was buying.
Actually, what she was using was insulin, pure insulin, which is potentially lethal if it's not used correctly.
Yeah.
So there are hordes of unlicensed sellers selling this stuff now on the internet. They're taking advantage of predominantly women, but men too, who have issues about their weight. They're selling these products that are fake. You don't know what you're buying. They could be potentially lethal. They're sold in devices or pens which aren't reliable because they're not giving the right dose. So you're playing with death by using these products, and the people selling them are criminals and fraudsters. Unfortunately, the celebrity world has made these skinny jabs popular. And whilst the true medicine works for people who are seriously overweight or have type 2 diabetes, they shouldn't be for everybody. They shouldn't be used sort of in a trivial way. They should be prescribed by a healthcare professional, not an online beautician or anybody like that.
I think one of the
they
things
can have serious side effects, which you need to understand.
One of the things Michelle said as well was that she thought it was hard to come by, and suddenly it was everywhere. Actually getting one of these official jabs is something as you say, it needs to be prescribed, and there's not a lot of it. It's not like vast quantities.
Well, to be honest, there's a shortage of supply for diabetics now, which is the other downside, is that some diabetics, because they can't get semaglutide or liraglutide, are being forced back onto insulin, which may not suit them as well. So there is a global shortage, and that's partly fuelled by this celebrity, popularity of the skinny jab.
Before we come back
need to remember also that the skinny jab will only work while you're taking it.
Right.
The real
as soon as you stop.
As soon as you stop, the appetite comes back and you pile the pounds on again. So it's not the be-all and end-all.
Just got a word from the manufacturers. The drug company Novo Nordisk, which makes Ozempic, which is one of the most well-known of the skinny jabs, said it's aware that some counterfeit semaglutide injection products are being distributed in the UK and that this is a critical issue that they're investigating with the health authorities. The Royal College of GPs say they're working tirelessly to tackle those responsible for selling medicines illegally and causing harm. And they added that last year they removed 7 million potentially lethal doses of medicines from circulation.
Wow. That is a lot.
Yeah, and there's a big money because this denied the criminals trying to sell them about £850,000 profit.
Michelle, obviously you felt the urge to try and do something quick, to get this quick fix you'd experienced in the past and it had done the job. How do you feel about it now, and what would you say to people watching this morning? We're about to go into the Christmas season. Everyone looks great. We're also about to go into the party season where we start eating and drinking too much as well. So January tends to be a month when everyone goes for it as well. Yeah. What's your advice to people?
It's just not worth the gamble. You just don't know what you're going to get, and it's not worth risking your life over feeling good. The people around you love you just the way you are, and you need to remember that and just don't take risks with your life.
And Hilary, presumably you'd agree?
Absolutely. Well said. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're very glad you are here and looking well this morning. You can have a great Christmas. And well done to Katie as well for sort of being aware enough to get Vicky over as quick as... because who knows what might have happened had she not acted so quickly.
Yeah, my children were so brave.
Yeah, well done. Right, Hills, thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you.